we're delighted to have with us in the Chaos TV studio a face that we're all familiar with. Obviously, thank you very much, Will, for joining us. I hear you're very excited to talk about what's up and coming. I know we are.
Yes, cinema news.
But yeah, could you give us a little introduction for those who don't know who you are, what you do? Sort of give us a who are you, what do you do, where you come from? That's that whole line, isn't it?
Didn't prep for that, did we? I suppose I did walk in the building, and certain people here who've probably seen my face quite a few times didn't know who I was, so I might have to.
Which was interesting because during the news segment, I'm stood here, I'm looking through, and I just got Babs through the screen, just going. I'm like, I'm doing the news.
To be fair,
I'm talking about some pretty horrible stuff. What do you want me to do?
I'm like a chameleon, you see.
And you are on Chaos TV more than most as well.
Oh, so. Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but, it's lovely to have you in. But I do have to say, this is usually my break. Thanks for coming in and making me work.
That's fine.
So yeah, hit us with the basics. So you're the manager of St Austell, is that right?
Yeah. White Rose Cinema manager. So I've been there since we opened. That was 2008. But I was managing in the film centre prior to that, and I started work in the film centre in 1997.
Wow!
I know I don't look that age, but there we are.
So it is safe to say you are a proper film nerd.
Yes,
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Own it, yeah.
Into the films, definitely. So I did work for an Intro Cinema in between as well, because obviously the old one closed, then we redeveloped and then opened a new one. So
right, okay. Now, just before we go on to the actual films, actually, I'm going to give a quick reminder for those who've been watching Chaos TV now for quite some time. You may remember that Patrick and I visited the cinema quite some time ago.
That was memorable.
Oh, it was a glorious day.
So up and down the stairs.
We had a bit of a Mario Kart on the cinema screen, much thanks to yourself.
Yeah.
Interesting to I got to go up and meet the lads who sort of run things at the top end, behind all the big technology. That was a moment of flipping heck, big old projectors up there. But we had fun. We played a bit of Mario Kart, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, you did. Yeah.
We got working.
Me and Nathan were out filming. You were just like running up and down the stairs.
Left you guys just filming downstairs.
I was just sat there watching.
What best part was I'm there running up and downstairs to try and go between cinema screen and up where the projectors are, wondering if something's working. By the time I got into the cinema screen, my other half, Els, was just sat there playing Mario Kart already.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's working. Could you not have shouted to me? Thanks for that.
Well,
I'll just keep on running up and
like
down.
this. Yeah. So, she could have shouted, but you wouldn't have heard.
That's making me try to lose weight, you see. So let's talk about films. We got a few trailers to show as well, I believe, while we chat about things. So I've got one here, The Lost City.
Yeah, I was just discussing that it was supposed to be out next week, but it's been put back a fortnight. So the film schedules keep moving, unfortunately, which doesn't help making plans. We're planning ahead, and then actually no, it's going to be released a fortnight later. So any review and preparation that I get ready for that film is out the window. So, but we can still discuss this one because it's not long until it's being released.
Okie dokie. I believe we've got the trailer here to watch while we're discussing it. Can we have a look at that one?
So what's this film generally about? A little
summary. Lost City, you've got Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. Sandra's a romantic writer, but she's quite reclusive, and then her publishers wanted to go on this book tour. Tatum's like a model, and he does like the covers of the books and stuff, like romance novels.
Okay.
So they end up going away. Then they're involved in like some kidnapping in the jungle, and
as you are.
Standard.
Yeah, it reminds me Romance in the Stone, the old 1980s one, Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas. I don't know if you boys have seen that one.
Yeah, not familiar.
Heard of, but not seen.
Yes, similar to that one. They end up in
okay,
unknown jungle, and then obviously she's not used to being out and about, as you can see by the attire. Tatum's probably a bit more at home in the nature.
I mean,
cool,
that was very, very at home. It seems.
Definitely, yes. Yeah. But adventure films are doing really well again. We had Uncharted recently, and that's done exceptionally well. The Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg. It's based on the game, but it's set before the game, so it sets them up for having its own story. Sometimes the game adaptations, they'll just follow it and say, oh yeah, there's nothing new there. Whereas this one sets up a new premise, so there'll probably be a couple more films before they get up to speed with the game.
I feel that's a safe way of doing it as well, because when you get something that's based on a game or a book, and it's actually based on the same time era, and there's the same storyline, and there's some creative edits made, shall we say, to the story, people can go up in arms very quickly.
They can, yes.
Personally, I had that experience with the Warcraft film. I'm a long-time World of Warcraft player, and I was watching that, and I was like, it's all right. And then there was a couple of things, massive key story changes, and I was like, I'm done. I'm out. There's just just one little thing, but it does change literally the entire story through all the years. I'm like, nope, I'm out. I still enjoyed it, but yeah.
It could have been really good, but it didn't have overall appeal.
No.
Duncan Jones directed it, and the promise was there, and the story was there to an element, but I think the CGI wasn't great either. A lot of the troll stuff, and no, I didn't enjoy that one. I do quite like the fantasy stuff, but I wasn't a fan.
I think if you're gonna touch something like that that's already so well established, the super fans and the gamers and everything, they're gonna have high expectations.
Yeah. Like, we've got a film Sonic the Hedgehog 2 coming out.
Yes.
Remember the first one? There was uproar
because
Sonic's teeth.
What was that first Sonic? Honestly, there was people who were saying that was done on purpose to try and get some publicity for it.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know if anything ever came of that, but I mean, it sure did work if it was, whether it was or not. Yeah. But that was a weird looking Sonic, that first one.
It's the old saying, isn't it? Like Oscar Wilde said, that it's nothing worse than not being talked about. It's like not being talked about. Yeah. So same as bad publicity. So all publicity is there.
Good
publicity.
publicity.
Like when KFC ran out with its chicken, it's like everyone was like going down buying what was left. So gotta get down there. So even if it's negative, it sometimes has that positive effect.
Have you ever seen? I love the fact because we're talking about the Sonic 2. I don't know how much I can say. You ever seen the Knuckles memes that go around online?
No.
Okay. So there was a rather meme-ish looking, and it was quite interesting because the first version of the first Sonic looked similar levels to this meme of Knuckles that was going around. And when I saw Knuckles in the next movie, I thought, oh, I know how the internet's going to go with this one. It's just going to be a clash of the old Sonic and this meme, and it's been going around everywhere. It's mad. I wish I could show you, but I'll have to show you off air.
Okay, fair enough.
One of those. But yeah, Sonic 2. What's that one looking like at the moment? Is it looking good? Is it sounding good? People liking it?
So if you're Sonic the Hedgehog fan, definitely.
Have you seen the first one at all?
I haven't. No. Do you know what? I'm going to hold my hands up. I haven't been to the cinema in ages. I think the last film I went and saw was James Bond, so it wasn't too long ago.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
Depends on which one.
Moonraker.
It's been a while. But yeah, and I loved it. Like going back into that environment because it obviously with the pandemic there's been a long break since I've been to cinema, and like I'm just seeing the brief trailer there for The Lost City. That looks like my kind of film, like comedy, action, bit of fun. Like that looks like my kind of thing. So yeah, I'm keen to go and see that. But obviously, it's messed up your schedules now.
Yeah, it's only a couple of weeks. I think they're releasing it for the Easter holiday, so it's supposed to be out on the 1st, but it's going to like the 15th. So it's not a huge jump. Okay. We had Operation Fortune due out, and that's just gone to an unknown date, which is worse. Yeah. So.
Do you get any problems with people who are waiting for these films coming to you and going, well, you said it was going to be coming out?
We used to. It's not quite so bad. I think people are a bit more understand. Yeah, it's beyond our control, and we've put disclaimers on there that everything's subject to change, so it's all...
Just sounded really ominous, like we used to.
Yeah.
We sorted that problem.
Yeah. People are more understanding now. So, a few years ago, you advertised certain films, and there's loads of films released every week, sometimes like up to 10 as independents and stuff like that. We've only got 4 screens.
Yeah.
And we can only show a certain amount of films, and if something's doing well, we keep it rolling over, because the longer we have a film, it's better for us. So things will roll, and you have like 2-week minimum contracts and various other bits and pieces. So you can't show every film that is released every week. But if you got this week, there was 2 we've got released. There was supposed to be the 3rd one. So we've got the 2. And then that 3rd one we might not show, and everyone's like, "Why are you doing that? You had it on your coming soon page." And I said, "Well, it is all subject to change. We can only fit stuff in, so we still might get that film at a later date." And we'll often be advised maybe from the film companies and stuff, or show it in a different cinema. So because Truro's got an extra screen, and they sometimes do better with different films, like audience-wise, than Cinemas will. And again, with Nuki, they have a different audience yet again. So I know Nuki did particularly well with the Jackass film.
Of course, yes. Yeah, you know what? I really want to go and see that. I haven't seen it.
Luckily, it's finished, so you have to find somewhere else.
Luckily, it's finished.
Yeah.
Do you find people leaving the screen after watching that thinking, "Oh God, please don't trash anything or do anything like wound them up"?
We were fortunately okay, but I know some of the other cinemas had some incidents.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we can discuss off air because it's like,
And I want to touch on as well briefly. I know Joe in the back office, he's been tweeting about Batman this week, about loving it. I've heard it's had some very good reactions.
Yeah, I don't think he slept afterwards. He was so excited when he came out. Spent all night tweeting about it.
Yeah. Is that the general consensus? You've heard quite a positive?
Yeah. People are really enjoying it. It's a bit different to what it's gone before. It's a 15. That's another issue because lots of people are trying to bring younger people in, but it's got to be 15. It's not like the 12A. So that causes us problems. We're hoping it'd be a bit younger, but being a 15, it does give it more depth. It's got a darker story. It's quite sinister, but what being told is more detective-y and a bit Moorish rather than some of the typical comic book Batman stuff. But it's very intriguing, and it's also very long. So you get your money's worth. Yeah, it's only about 3 hours. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that'd be worth going to have a look, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Now, can we talk about the Nan movie?
We can.
I love this.
Tell me about this. I don't know about this at all.
If you know more about Nan, then go for it, because I only know because she's on the Catherine Tate show. It's one of the characters from
Right.
that.
Yes. Okay, now I get it.
You know Nan, the really rude.
Of course
Nan.
I do. Here she is.
That's what, the voice is off probably on this trailer. Isn't
Yeah, I was going to say, let's not definitely have the sound on. Owen's actually giggling away at that sort of prospect. Don't you want to put the sound on, Owen? I'm sure this is absolutely fine for daytime TV.
See, I'm not entirely... I love the Nan character, and I'm almost a bit on the fence of when they focus on one character and they've made obviously a whole film about her.
Is it too much?
Is it too much? Are they going to ruin or overdo it? And that's...
There's the possibility. See, she's got a backstory as well. See, there's a bit of flashback, so it shows how she's younger and sort of how she becomes this character. So, and she's going off to Ireland to try and reconcile with her sister as well. So there's been a falling out there. So there is the depth to it, and British comedy stuff has worked quite well in the past. But I said it is a bit of a risk focusing on that one character.
Yes.
But we're hoping it'll be more like Kevin and Perry rather than David Brent's offering.
Sorry, I'm watching the trailer.
Punches in for it.
Right. I'm watching, also worrying that are we going to have a moment we're just going to have to cut it? I don't know, but that looks great. That looks really, really good. I see your point about being careful about one specific character, but done right.
It's because Nan is such a love. Like, if that's probably one of her most famous characters from the Catherine Tate show.
Yeah.
So I do worry that it's sort of a bit overkill by focusing on that, but I can't judge it until I see it, and I definitely want to see it.
Yes.
So,
and fans of the show will like it, and British comedy fans will be in. So it's a bit different to the American comedies. Obviously, ours is a bit more subtle. I think it's probably
it's British comedy at its best. Yes,
definitely. Yeah.
I must admit, looking at British comedy through the years, it's interesting to see how it's changed. There's still a lot of the old British comedy that I still prefer over new British comedy, but I think a lot of people are starting to turn it back in the right direction. And occasionally I see stuff and I think, oh, that's a British one. I actually like that. That's,
Yeah, I was doing I wrote for the paper as well, and I do quizzes each time. I was doing one on British comedy, so you went back through. And I said, when I look back, all your classics like Blackadder and Fools and Horses and Dinner Ladies, all those are real classics, and you can just watch them now and still laugh.
yes.
And I see there's a lack of great quality comedy now. But then I'm picking out the best ones from that era, so there probably were quite a lot showing when these are on that will never see the light of day again because they were maybe inappropriate, or you look back through and you say, oh yeah, you forget a lot of comedies that were showing at the time, and they are quite forgettable. Apart from the main ones. I mean, currently, the last few years, I suppose This Country stands out as a great comedy.
Love it.
But I can't think of anything currently that I watched. Dairy Girls I like. New series of that coming out.
Dry humour, isn't it?
Yeah, This Country is so...
Yeah.
Trouble is, it's set further up, isn't it? It's like the Cotswolds.
Yes.
But you do think it's down here.
Yeah, it could easily pass.
Yeah, definitely. We all know characters like it. So
I'd love to see them make like a film out of that one day. Like an extended episode kind of thing.
I think that could definitely work.
Because I love Daisy May Cooper as well, and I recently finished reading her book, and I just find her hilarious.
Yeah, that one from the birthday watch. I read it. That was very funny. Some dark moments in it as well. It's all going to be quite light-hearted, but it was quite tough at times. But it's definitely worth a read. So I just read Josh Widdicombe's 90s TV shows, and that's brilliant. It's really worth a watch. A read. I suppose you could listen to audiobooks now.
True. Oh, yeah, true. There's a little name here that's coming up, and I'm sure we've heard this time and time again. Phantom of the Opera.
No.
Fine. No, that's it. End of that one.
Phantom of the Open.
Of the Open?
Yeah.
So who's written this in the script? Who's written this in the script? I might have typed it in by mistake. So Phantom of the Open?
Yes. Let's hope he's got the right trailer for this.
Oh, this would be hilarious, wouldn't it? Come on, Owen. Please tell me you've got Phantom of the Opera instead. He's got Phantom of the Opera!
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
Live TV at its best.
We will leave you to try and find the right one.
So tell us, what's the difference?
So, the Phantom of the Opera is obviously a musical, and like he hides underneath. He's got like the half mask and the cape. Right. Plays the organ under the ground, isn't he? So, but the Phantom of the Open is another British comedy, but it's based on a true story. So, in 1976, This chap, Flitcroft, he was a crane operative and just a working class chap, wanted to partake in the Golf Championship.
Okay.
But he's never played golf before, so there's a slight flaw in his plan of trying to achieve this. And yeah, he became very famous at the time for like the true underdog story, like Eddie the Eagle and stuff like that. Of, like someone that tries, but ultimately is useless at what they do. And
hey, there we go.
There we are. Yeah.
Thank you, Owen.
So it's Mark Rylance is the main one, and
Based on true story.
Yeah. Sally Hawkins is in it as well.
I love it when films are on true stories as well. I feel like it automatically makes me want to invest more in it when I know it's a true story.
Yes, yeah. And so you can't believe it being a true story. Is that actually a true story? Because sometimes it's so unbelievable.
Yeah.
Look at those hairstyles. My goodness me.
Yeah. So back to the 70s for this one. So yeah, it looks for a really nice film. Quite uplifting. I mean, there's no real great worry or anything like that. I mean, his family and everyone supported him, even though they thought he's been an absolute fool for trying to play professional golf when he's done crazy golf before. So.
So definitely no music and no masks.
No, well, maybe music. But
fair enough.
And obviously the golf organisations were not too keen on having such an amateur playing in the competitions and stuff like that. So, but golf memberships are still pretty archaic, to be honest. I mean, it's only the last few years they started letting women into some of the clubs, haven't they? So,
wow, really?
Yeah. So they do need to come up to the times, considering this was back in 1976. So we can just understand they're pretty very old-fashioned views on things.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice that they're doing. Seems like there's a lot more comedies coming out at the minute as well.
Yeah, you get stages. Sometimes you won't get any for ages, and you'll get a deluge of comedies. But then often it'll be the American ones, and they might be laugh out loud sometimes, but they are quite obvious and quite general. And sometimes it's nice to have these, like the comedy dramas.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the Nan's a comedy drama, but yeah, I say there's a different tone of pace that we deliver than some of the grossed out American comedies that we get a lot of. So.
But we need a bit more comedy in the world.
Need a bit more positivity, I think.
Yeah.
Where we can. Now, I want to talk to you of whatever you can talk to us about, should I say, about Eggheads.
Yes.
Not something that people probably expect to hear right now, but
no,
tell us more.
Yeah, the TV show, the quiz show. I'm sure most people are familiar with the format. That I will be appearing on it in a couple of weeks' time.
Oh.
Yeah. What day is it today? Thursday. Yeah, so 2 weeks today.
So obviously can't go into too much because this is. I guess
No, we can't discuss any of the recording or any of the rest of it. But my friend Jack, who used to work in the cinema, Kieran and Shane, we still meet up on the Homebush quiz every Wednesday.
Perfect.
Do quite well. And Jack said on my birthday last November that he's entered us for Eggheads for a laugh.
Wow.
But Jack says all this stuff we never believe any of it's going to come true.
Yeah.
And then we have a phone from the production company and asking us questions and stuff. Well, actually, this might happen. We had to do a video audition. So luckily, I've had some experience with you guys on that. So we sailed through that bit. That wasn't any trouble.
We like to help.
Yeah. One take, off it goes. Yeah, that's great. And then we had a call early January saying, yeah, we're going to be recording soon. If boys want to come up and take part, yeah, they'd love to have us on. So that was great.
I'm not going to ask you how you did because obviously you can't go on about that. But looking forward to seeing that. So 2 weeks, you said.
Yeah. So on the 24th of March, 6:30 on Channel 5, Eggheads. So Jolly Boys is our team name. So. Yeah.
Jolly Boys, love
I'm
it.
just going to say well done for not having Pudge on your team.
Ouch!
If you ever watch our, we do
good.
a chaos quiz here every Tuesday afternoon,
Yes.
and
I am the Alan Davis of this room.
Okay.
So you know Alan Davis on QI
It can't
always
be too
loses.
bad because I remember I did a few quizzes with you guys during like lockdown. I was sort of like phoning it in and doing some quiz stuff because there's no films to talk about, and you probably might not have been the worst.
Oh,
I think Matt was pretty poor.
I get away with it. 'Cause I
I'm
get
saying
quiz
nothing.
master.
I'll take that one though, and quite happily move on. I think I've only won. I've not won any. I think I've only not been allowed to once. I managed to just pip Henry to the post on something, and I think it's related to food, which is not a surprise. Awesome stuff. So, is there anything sort of coming up you can give us sort of the inside scoop on? Any of the gossip, anything like that is coming up? I feel like I'm one of these people on the red carpet. Quick, give us some gossip, some insight. You know.
Nothing of any great excitement. I mean, we've covered
Worth
the
a
films
try.
out soon. Obviously, that's our most recent ones. Downton Abbey is coming up soon. I know Nathan's looking forward to that, as he keeps saying on our
I looked for him, but he's not there.
He's
so.
not there. A few event cinema things as well. So tonight I've got Rigoletto, which is the opera.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure you've been to see most of the operas, haven't you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
up-ish.
You know,
I'm gonna-
yeah. I can't remember who wrote that one. Do you remember?
Come on, we
Put me right on the spot here.
we are
Turning the
clearly.
table. Yeah.
Yeah,
This table's small. I've been giving you a kick right now. Like, stop it. Stop it.
we should make our own unintelligent egghead team, shouldn't we?
Put me right on that one.
Yeah. So it's Verdi's opera, and it's got an anniversary celebration, 171 years, and I'm trying to figure out what the significance of 171 years, apart from being a very long time.
Oh,
Yeah, it's an unusual date to be.
It's one of these things that in Roman numerals it all looks similar. Or it's something
yeah, I didn't
like,
think of that.
was
so-
it just they couldn't do it
symmetric
last
something.
year because round numbers 170 would
Yeah.
have been.
Yes, yeah, I think that's probably it. It was the last year, but yeah, that's broadcast live from the Royal Opera House in Covent Garden,
Wow.
and we show it in the local cinemas. So
Brilliant.
that one's on tonight. Got a couple of theatre ones coming up. It's Henry V with Kit Harrington.
Ooh.
So it should be interesting.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. You get a core audience for those. They are very
Okay.
popular with your fans. So the ballets and operas get a certain type of audience. You don't always get a wider range of those. You'll have your fan base, but the plays can often bring more people in when you've got a certain actor or actress appearing in it. So I think the Richard II with David Tennant a few years ago was really popular.
Imagine. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
cool, and I just love St Austell Cinema in general. Like I'm a Truro boy, so I live in Truro and have done all my life. But 9 times out of 10, if I'm going to go to cinema, I go to St Austell Cinema. I think it's just the screen and the layout and the access. That is my preference.
Yes, yeah, it would be. Truro's, because it's an old building, it's still not brilliantly catered for. I mean, ours is quite new, so we've got
Yeah.
everything a lot newer, bigger screen, soundproofing, so access, everything throughout. So,
Yeah.
whereas Truro, you will be limited where you can go as well. You've got to check in advance, haven't you? So,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah,
So
do-
it's unfortunate that it's so old and there's not much they can really do. I've looked into various alterations they can make, but
Yeah.
there's no room or
It's
space
that
to go
old
through.
school lift, isn't it? That sort of
Yes,
stair lift.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I used to have to operate that
terrifying.
one sometimes. Yeah,
Um,
and you got that. You won't be allowed on that one.
No,
so you have to
exactly.
go into
And the problem is
another chair.
a lot of the newer big films are in the upstairs in the bigger screens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
screen one. So.
yeah, off I
Yeah.
trot to St Austell. You know.
yes, yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, you've got a great seat, so you come in, lift up,
Yeah,
straight through.
yeah.
Wonderful.
done.
But
It's
yeah,
ideal.
Not putting Truro down. I mean, it's a lovely cinema. But I'm just saying
cool.
we are at an advantage being a new building that we've got more accessibility
Yeah.
options. Yes.
Perfect.
Place.
Good advertisement there. Lovely job. Will, thank you so much for coming in. Lovely
that's
to
right,
chat with you and
yes,
have
yeah.
you in here.